Hello, this is Ravi, and today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that I am deeply fascinated by, a topic that is close to my heart, a topic that is so powerful that I have sort of made it a life study, so to say. If you have followed some of my videos, I often talk about how I have been spending a lot of time reading books on self talk, on reprogramming your inner scripts and influences. I think I already shared this with you. I'm reading a lot of Power of Neuroplasticity. I'm also reading shared Helmstetter's book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And there's some other books that are on their way to me. And the reason is, as I spend time with coaching my clients on their path to success, on helping them achieve a success mindset, I realized that a lot of influence and power lies in the inner scripts, the scripts that have been programmed in their mind for years while they were growing up. And that's the reason most times a lot of inspiration and motivation books or talks doesn't help, because it might get them to a temporary state of elevation, but eventually what is even more powerful and influential is your self belief, your not self belief, it's your limiting beliefs, your core beliefs that you have formed while you were growing up over the years. So it's like solidified over the years, and that plays a strong role. And that actually, if those core beliefs are limiting core beliefs, then it stops you from achieving your full potential. And I learned some of these concepts not just from books. I also completed a certification course on cognitive behavioral therapy. It's called CBT, that I completed from a renowned teacher, Kane Ramsey. You can Google about him. He's an authority on this subject. So it's a study of how life experiences influence your emotions, and how emotions influence your behaviors, and eventually how behaviors influence your ability to succeed in your life. So it has been a life transforming experience for me completing that course, and I bring in a lot of these concepts while I coach my clients. So, as I said, we are all products of our influences through our life experiences. Some of these influences are empowering, and some are disempowering, and they form our internal scripts. They form our core beliefs, and and that they influence, they play a big part on our ability to succeed in our life's pursuits. So I just thought I will share with you some of those lessons. Let me share with you this example. Now, you must have. I have always wondered while I was growing up, whenever I visited the zoo or to the circus, that how an enormous elephant is able to be tamed by the mahout, by tying the elephant to throw a rope. And that rope is not a very powerful rope. It's a small rope, and the elephant is tethered to say to either to a small trunk, or to a small tree, or to a pole. And it's an enormous gigantic elephant, right? And the reason they are able to do that is, again, with programming when the elephant was small. So when an elephant is brought to a circus for the first time, when it is tiny, when it's a calf, it was tied to a pole through a small rope. And at that time, when it is tied, the elephant tries to break away from that pole, and it is unable to, because it's tiny, it's young, it does not have the strength to pull itself out of that third rope. Now it tries, and then eventually it gives up. And it goes through the same pattern as it is growing up. And there comes a point of time where the elephant is grown up into a full grown adult. It has actually stopped trying to break away from that rope, because the belief that was formed early in his lifetime was that I am unable to break free from this rope. And this is exactly what happens with most of us humans, because when we are growing up, we have these life experiences, and those life experiences become our core beliefs. And some of these core beliefs are no more relevant, or maybe they were interpreted in an incorrect manner when we were smaller, but we still hold on to those core beliefs. And because they are disempowering, they act as an hindrance, or the biggest obstacles for us to achieve our life goals, or achieve whatever we want to achieve. And this is a fascinating analogy, and it's so perfectly is appropriate to our own lives as well. And these, I call them the core beliefs, and each of us have core beliefs. You might not have written down these core beliefs, but we are all full of core beliefs. Each of you has a set of core beliefs that you are not aware, but they are subliminal, and they are actually they are the template on which you are leading your life. You are leading your life according to your core beliefs. Every action, every decision that you take in your life is based on these subliminal core beliefs that are programmed in your mind. So Albert Ellis is one of the founding fathers of, he's a psychologist, and he's the founding father of CBT. And he came up with 14 self-destructive self-beliefs that he wrote them. And so it's fascinating read. However, the world is not limited to just this 14 self-belief. That this were his primary 14, but there are hundreds and hundreds of self-beliefs each of us has. So I would like to spend some time in sharing some of the core beliefs from Albert Ellis's list. Not all of them. I don't think I would have time, and it would be relevant to you as well to go through all of them. So I picked at least 6 of them, which were my favorite, and I'm going to be sharing with them one after another. All right. So let's go through them and then see how these self-destructive beliefs or limiting beliefs pose a threat to achieve your potential. So number 1, I need everyone to approve of me. There's a typo here. I need everyone to approve of me. So this is a self-belief, a limiting self-belief that many of us are carrying, right? I mean, especially when you are younger, we want to be approved by everybody. We want to be accepted by everybody. We want to be we want to be part of everybody's inner circle, especially when your self-esteem is low, and when you're growing up as a child. Even for me, that I wanted to be part of everybody's gang in school, everybody's group. If a group was keeping me away from that group, that would hurt me, because I wanted to belong to every group. I wanted everybody to approve of me. And this has been, and sadly, many people grow out of this self-limiting belief. But I have seen, even with some of my clients also, they have not grown out of this limiting belief, and they still think that the world should approve of everything. And as a result, what they do is they just become people pleasers. They just do things that helps them get approval of others. They are not able to do things that they want to, which others might disapprove of, because they cannot, because of their self-belief. They think it is wrong to do things without others' approval. So this is a big limiting self-belief, and it acts as a big hurdle in achieving what you want to do. So I never sought approval. I did things most times which were against the majority or against people around me, and I developed a thick skin, and as a result, I could do what I could do in my life. So, but many people do not. So they still live with this limiting self belief. Number two, I must avoid being disliked by anybody. So this is also similar to number one. We feel that we must be liked by everybody. We should be liked by everybody, and that's how the world should be. And it creates a lot of pain, emotional pain and trauma when we see that somebody does not like us, and we go out of our way to explain to them why they should like me, and that we try to rationalize, and we just go out of our way because we cannot stand the notion that there are people who do not like me. So this is again something that hinders a lot of people, that gives them emotional pain, and that stops people from doing things which they otherwise would like to do. So again, it's again a herd mentality. It's again a mentality where people want to belong, people want to be accepted and also liked. So this is number two. I think that there's definitely a typo here. Number four, someone somewhere should take responsibility of me, and this is again a self-limiting belief, which we feel that, you know what, somebody should take the government should take responsibility of my job. My parents should take responsibility of a good upbringing. I mean, my parents should have sent me to a good college. My parents should have done this, that. And same is the case if you're a working professional. My company, my organization should have done this. My boss should have done this. And this is a self-limiting belief which we think comes up with immature attitude of not taking charge of your life. The definition of maturity is the definition of a real maturity. A man is said to be really mature when he is able to take charge and take control of every area of his life, all aspects of his life. That man is said to be a mature man. So, but there are still people, including me, even now. I don't think I have been able to take charge of all areas of my life. Some areas, yes. Some areas I still default to depending upon others to take responsibility of those areas. So this is also a self-limiting belief, and we should just overcome it. Number five, my future outcomes will be same as past outcomes, and this is also a very, very destructive self-limiting belief. And because, say, somebody who is only 20 years old, and just imagine if he has cemented this limiting belief in his mind. So in a short life of 20 years, he begins to think, oh, I have not amounted to much in the last 20 years. I am a loser. I did not score good rank in my school, in my college. I was always a backbencher. In a group of 40, in my class of 40, I've always been 30, and my rank has been 30 and below that. And this is how I am. So they start identifying themselves as losers, because in the last 20 years, maybe because of circumstances, maybe somebody did not give them attention, maybe they did not get the requisite care, and as a result, maybe they would have failed in most of their efforts. But what has that done is it has created a permanent script in their minds that, you know what, this is how I'm supposed to be a loser, and this is how my future is also going to be. But this is completely wrong, because there are late bloomers, and first of all, they might not have done a true analysis of why they have not been successful in their past, and maybe there were some interventions needed that would change the game for the future. And I've seen so many people, especially in my 40s now, I've seen people who were very bright in school, did not amount to much, but people who were supposedly not great in school, they have bloomed into confident and successful individuals. So yeah, so definitely my future outcomes is not my dependent upon your past outcome. And this is something that I always teach to my clients, especially when I also work with a lot of young students. I always tell them that disregard what your past has been and create a new future. But this is a self-limiting belief which needs to be reprogrammed and re-erased, and has to be cleansed out of your system. Otherwise, this can wreak havoc in your future. This is because this is just a belief. There's no truth to it. It is just a belief, a core belief, that you have somehow assumed it to be true, and it is actually not helping you in your life. So you just have to get rid of this. um, Last one here is, it's not okay to make mistakes. If I do, I'm a bad person. So this is also, a lot of people think that, you know what, a human being should be perfect. Whatever he does, it should be perfect. He should always be able to succeed. And mistakes, if you commit mistakes, you are a bad person. You do not, you're not deserving to be able, if you're committing mistakes, that means you are not worthy to be living in this world. You're not worthy to be respectable. So these are again scripts. These are again absurd core beliefs somehow you have picked. Maybe you had a very demanding set of parents. Maybe you had a brother who did fewer mistakes than you did, and therefore he got all the love and attention. And maybe you were compared with other students or your neighbors and stuff like that, and as a result, this the script got created in your mind that, you know what, I make mistakes and I am a bad person because people dealt really badly with me, and this is how it is. And if I make mistakes, I'm a bad person, so I will not make mistakes. And it is of course not possible practically to not make mistakes, because if you are trying to chase ambitious goals, obviously you will make mistakes. But because of this fear, you do not even try new things, and you want to stay safe, and you do not grow, and you do not achieve. So I just wanted to give you some sense of core beliefs, some examples of core beliefs. As I said, I just picked up 6 of them, but there are hundreds and hundreds of core beliefs. Some are empowering. I mean, if you have great core beliefs that I'm the best, that could be a core belief. I mean, I've done some research and reading on the success secret of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is somebody that who has worked with psychologists while he was growing up, and positive psychologists who have created some very powerful and empowering core beliefs. He's a result of his core belief. As a result, nothing is impossible for him. So at a very young age, he became a business magnate, and he became hugely powerful and successful, and to the point that his core belief said that he cannot fail. Okay, and his core belief said that he can achieve whatever he set his mind to. So he was a product of these core beliefs, very strong and empowering core beliefs. And then he decided he wants to be the president, and he became a president. Of course, we might argue about his some of his personality flaws, his character flaws, but keeping all of that aside, he was a student of positive psychology. He had coaches, he had trainers who actually programmed him, saying that you are meant for success, and that actually was a big influence in his successful career. So my point is, yeah, so this was my point. So we are all influences of our core beliefs, and be very, very wary of what your core beliefs are. So when I work with my clients, when I coach them for success, I usually start from self-discovery and look for traces where they might be carrying some disempowering core beliefs, and then we chalk out a plan on how to rewrite those core beliefs and into empowering core beliefs and rescript them. So yeah, and as I said, that's why most people who jump into motivational books, motivational content, inspirational videos, it does not impact. It does not have a long-term impact, because it has a temporary impact. You get elevated, but you are getting pulled back, and the power of years of your past core beliefs, limiting beliefs, will pull you back, right? And that's the reason this does not work. Cool. So these were some of my ideas on self-limiting beliefs. If you have identified your self-limiting beliefs that you think are also playing a destructive role and are obstacles to your goals in your life, just find it out. And maybe if you want to be open and share with us, that will be great. So you can add them on your comments. Maybe we can discuss some of them in my Facebook group. I'll be happy to have a conversation around that. With that, thank you so much, and I'll be back again with another topic soon. Bye bye.